Welcome to the DGD Podcast. It is the Gator Haters Ball, my friends. We're getting hot and heavy. We're starting it off with a bang. I want everyone to please welcome the Gator Hater of the Year for 2024, Mr. Rashada. Mr. Rashada, how are you, sir?
How's it going, my man? How you doing?
We are doing fabulous on this Friday. It is Fabulous Friday, and as you know, those Dawgs play in Jacksonville tomorrow. So we're here to talk some football. Listen, if you're a Florida fan, this might not be the spot for you tonight. Just gonna let that be known because there are no holds barred on this one. But first things first, the show is brought to you by our friends over at Alumni Hall. Make sure to get yourself geared up for game day, tailgating and all. Go to our website, dgdpodcast.com. Go to their website through our website. Go to theirs and shop, and you'll get 8% will go to the Classic City Collective, or you can go to their store, physical store, and mention the show and get 10% off your entire order. Thanks, Alumni Hall. And now we begin. Jeff Hightoff says, bringing the goods. Without a doubt, we are. First things first, tonight's show is a little bit different. It's a call-in show, too. So feel free, use the link in the chat if you want to come in and Gator hate. Simple enough. Mr. Rashada, got to jump into this one pretty quick.
What's going on?
Not much. I want to ask you first thing, how are you liking the transition to Georgia, you and Jaden?
I love it, man. To be honest, I think Jaden is he's really, really happy. It's a really strong program. It's just everything to like about Georgia. You know what I mean? Tons of great support, good tradition. With everything we went through, I think he really landed in the best place he could have, and you talk about, like, I don't want to say endings because we got a long way to go, but to get through that process and get to where he is right now, it's just a blessing, man.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, it's one of those things where, coming out of high school, Jaden has a pretty visible recruitment, right? A pretty high profile recruit. So the whole Florida saga, right, just kind of fits in with, well, the Gator hating season. The fact that you spurned them, go to Arizona State, right? Go to Arizona State for a year and then come to Georgia. It's one of those things where, as a Georgia fan, right, the Gator hater in us just loves it, right? We just let them cringe a little bit, right? That's just my thoughts. I can't. I just have to, right? But we'll ask some questions here. I got one in the chat for you, Mr. Rashada. Jeff Hightoff asks, what are your expectations for next year starting quarterback competition? Do you have any early expectations?
I wouldn't say it's about, expectations. I think, to be honest, man, it's, he came here literally, like, we've made it clear. He made it clear that he just wanted to develop, and I think all these kids are competitors. They all, every kid in that QB room is going to want to be QB1, but I think the healthy way you look at it is you go, you control the controllables, and, he's in a great situation to get better. Like I said, he had, Carson in front of him, some guys that have been in the program for a long time. I mean, you got a guy who's projected to go round one. So, when you could really look at that guy and you could see a lot of talent around you, and, practices are competitive, and, every box is kind of checked, from, the strength part, the diet part, the, training, everything about Georgia. It's just an A1 program. So I think, more so than, what that ends up being, in spring or fall or whatever it is, I'm more so like excited about, the transformation and the jumps he's going to make as a player, his IQ, physically, because the goal is to become the best player you can be, and I think all that other stuff, will take care of itself. But, you want to be somewhere where you could be the best player you can be. And I don't think, he could be too many other places in the country besides Georgia, to accomplish that. So, he's a competitor, man. I know he's going to compete. He's been doing that all his life. So, I mean, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about him having the opportunity probably to get more reps, to show what he can do, to be in a competitive situation, which is what he's always kind of thrived in.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I'm just interested in seeing his development, literally.
Yeah,
So,
I think one of the interesting things for me was when he was coming from Arizona State. He kind of looked thin, right? And I think
mhm.
especially in the SEC, right? You want your quarterbacks to kind of be a little bit bulkier, right? Just because of the physicality and things like that.
Mhm.
Where are we at with him right now? Because I think it looks like he's put on some weight. I think there's still some room to put on some extra weight. I think necessary weight, but that's a work in progress. How is that coming along? Is that going smooth or what?
Yeah, I think so it's funny like you say that, because I think there was somebody I talked to online this week, and they kind of said the same thing. And I think the same thing. You always, when I got to Arizona State personally myself, I was 185 pounds. In my second year, I was 205. I think when he got to Arizona State, he was like 175, 77 actually, and I think
Mhm.
he had lost a little, and he got up to 195, and I think that's about what he is right now. But I think the key, the most important thing he told me was that, physically, like his running shape was like the best he's been in. So like I said, I always use, I told him, I said, they kind of said the same thing about Jaden Daniels, and he was a thinner quarterback, Jared Goff. There's
Yeah.
some guys out there that kind of have
Well,
wiry frames.
Jaden Daniels was a perfect example of 10 quarterback for sure.
Yeah, and he's got a wiry frame, but he's 6'4", so he's legitimately 6'4", so he's got room, I think, to put on a quality. I think he'll be a quality like 215, probably when he's
Ideal.
all
Yeah.
said and done. Yeah, but I could see him being over 200, around springtime. And he's going to be a taller, wiry guy, but he's really strong and explosive more than people tend to think. Wiry
Oh
guy,
yeah.
but yeah, he's a pretty explosive kid, and he's just tough. I think he's just a football player. So yeah, he's not a 230-pound dude, but
No, yeah, they're hard.
he
Well, I wouldn't
plays
say
tough.
hard to come by, but they're a different breed when you come to those guys,
Hmm.
especially
Yeah,
the
no
quarterback
doubt.
position.
Yeah.
Now, I think I do want to. I know you mentioned you attested to the just learning and developing things like that. And there was a clip I think going around Twitter earlier this season, and I think it was a clip of Kirby coaching up Carson, and
Hmm.
then it was interesting. What was fun to me to see, and really good sight to see, was Jaden right there just soaking in every bit of it. And I feel like that's only going to make him better and learn what's going on in the game, right? Like even if you're not playing, the mental reps are a huge factor. I think you can attest to that too.
Hmm.
For me, I'm excited to see, kind of looking a little bit ahead, right? Because I mean, I think this year it is kind of Carson's team and whatnot, and obviously just learning the offense and things like
Hmm.
that. But moving forward, and Jeff kind of goes back to it. What are thoughts about next year? I mean, I think with his mentality and everything, I think there's a good chance you see the quarterback competition just be an open one and
Yeah.
just go from there.
Yeah.
I guess my question is, from a parent's perspective, right? What, like, I know from with Jaden being the quarterback and everything, kind of look at it a little bit of a different way, right? Different perspectives, things like that, priorities. What did you see about Georgia that you felt comfortable with his decision?
I mean, shoot, on the outside looking in, man, I mean, the program has been successful. I mean, they've won games and, really competed at a high level. And, I think Kirby and his staff has done a good job of getting guys prepared for the next level, not only to be dominant in college, but, to also be guys that can, kind of translate well to the NFL side, which that's just a testament to, the development. So I think like for me, that was always the key. But I think probably more so like when we, took the visit and really got to spend some time, with the staff and sitting down with Kirby and Bobo and, just realizing there's some guys that really have a lot invested, in the university that have played there. There's a lot of pride in the coaching staff. There's a lot of passion. Kirby's a fiery guy. I think that kind of emanates through his staff and what he expects from people. And I just always say I looked at it like, hey, he's a guy I would want to play for. Program success and all those things aside. So, it really wasn't a sale. It was just a great opportunity, So, that was one of the things when we went on a trip and he, it was like, hey, we've been there and done this, we don't need the bells and the whistles, just get to the football side and they checked all those boxes. So it's just a strong program, man. You can see the way those kids fight and, man, I went to the Alabama game. We didn't have much to cheer about, And when we did, the other guy caught the ball and it was over before it lasted, right? But
oh yeah,
I was down in Austin and the way those guys took the field, you can just see, how, that grit. A lot of programs, a lot of guys, I don't think can instill that kind of fight in their guys. Talent aside, So I just been kind of, we're new to it all, but I've been watching, just kind of the grit that he instills in those players and kind of the way they've been, in my opinion, everybody's working kinks out. You got injuries, things like that. But I feel like the team is actually getting tougher as the season goes on. So I'm kind of curious to see how that progresses.
especially defensively, right? I think you're getting guys healthy, right? I think that's a key that we've seen. Offensively, looking at offense, right? Everybody's harping on specifics and calling out this and calling out that. We haven't played a efficient offense. And if honestly, I'm looking at it, if our defense plays the part and then our offense gets it together, you're looking at the best team in the country. I agree. Definitely in our, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, though, I think it's just good to take mental reps, right, for Jaden's sake.
For sure.
Looking for the future. I think I know he came in. I think he redshirted his freshman year at Arizona State, so I think he should come in with technically 4 years.
Yeah,
still,
he got 4.
If I'm not mistaken. So you look at the kind of the long-term play on this, and I think, like you said before, right, when you transferred from Florida to Arizona State, right, you kind of touched on you didn't necessarily need the whole glitz and glamour on the recruiting side. I think that's a kind of a good model to kind of go off of, especially just kind of it's a business, right?
Yeah.
But I got to ask you.
Hold up. Let me interrupt you real quick because we did not transfer from Florida.
Oh, sorry.
Remember, this is the Florida Hate Show, so we never enrolled in that place, man. You just signed a letter of intent, and then, we didn't enroll.
Hey, accountability is always a key. So there you go. Now, I was going to ask, so with everything going on, I'm not gonna kind of go down that rabbit hole. So I do have to ask this, with everything, I don't know if there's bad blood or not. That's none of my business. What does this game look like for you tomorrow? Right? Like, for him, it might be a little bit different, right? I think y'all are going to have different situations, but I feel like there might be some come on, bring it.
Hey man, I put on X, the alligator getting cooked on the grill.
That's the Gator Hater of the Year submission right there.
That's what I want to see. I want to see us cook them. I want to see 70-0. I want to see us beat the brakes off of them.
I like this guy's style. He's welcome here anytime.
I don't have any, I want to see a great game. I'd love to see us come out and put it all together against these guys. And I think we can.
Amen.
I definitely think so too, for sure. Let's do this. I'll give you a prediction here. What do you see happening tomorrow? We'll save it for a score prediction, right? Do you think it's an offensive game or do you think it's a defensive game for Georgia? Because let's be honest, I don't see us losing. Spoiler alert, by the way, later on in the show when we do our picks. But I think this is the game where, first off, and my guy Keon will attest to this too, because me and him are on the same boat on this. I have this hatred to the point where I want ETN to score the first touchdown, and I want to see him Gator chomp in red and black. And I want him to run around doing it in front of the Florida fans. Like, call me petty. I don't care. I kind of want that.
I like to see it too.
Yeah.
I want to see it too.
Man, but no, I kind of, I'm looking at it too. I want to be able to sit there and just beat them by 70, like you said, right? Like, it'd be fun.
Well,
it'd be so fun.
I'll be honest. Like, I've been looking at it and I go, kind of like the chirping you get on their end. It's kind of like, hey, we're playing better ball, right?
Yeah.
And, I like to see us just completely put that fire out. I like, just smolder, put the cigarette butt in there and just put the whole fire out.
Like Wheezy said, the fireman will put you out, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Spark it up and I'm gonna put you out.
See it. Yeah. I want to see it because I think our offense can definitely run the ball against them, and I think that opens up our passing game. I think we can be effective, and I think our defense. I know they're going to take some shots. The young kids.
I think you'll have to. You'll try to keep us honest. You keep us honest.
Yeah, and the young kids got a big arm, so they're going to have to use that. That's the whole MO.
Yeah.
But, I like to think we're smart enough on the defensive side to probably get a hold of some of those tendencies, and I think we win the turnover battle.
I think so too. I mean, I know. Listen, DJ Lagway is a really good quarterback. Now, at the same time, I want you to understand here, Florida fans. This could have been Jaden, but it's not.
Oh, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. For better, not worse. Okay, for better, not worse on that.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, they can be happy with Lagway, but I think when I look at this right here, one of the things, Mr. Rashada, that I'm looking at is their propensity to not really fill the counterfeits, if you will. They're susceptible to counter. And I'm under the belief that I think you see Tate Ratledge back tomorrow. And if that's the case, there's your Mauler at right guard. And I think you're going to open up some holes in counter if we use it. So I could see Coach Bobo dialing up some run and getting ETN and maybe even Nate Frazier some run. I think they're susceptible to be attacked. I think they rotate a lot too much almost for me with the talent they've got. I don't think they have the talent to be rotating as much as they do. But Shamar James is a really good linebacker, so I think I don't know if you're going to be able to do any kind of eye candy or anything like that to kind of get him because I feel like he's a really smart player. Yeah. One of the things I saw at Kentucky, though, and you've got a football mind, so I want to pick your brain on this. My mentality for Florida, when you've got Desmond Watson or Micah Boro, right, Mekhi Boro on the field, those are behemoths. I think Desmond is like 470 as D-line. I saw Kentucky do this, and I just kind of laughed. And it, like, in the goal line running straight at him, and I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, it's 470 pounds. It took 3 guys to move him off the ball. Why are you running in straight ahead, right? Like, hit the edges. I feel like you need to get outside a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you see that as being a point of attack for Georgia offensively? Is hitting counter to the outside or hitting the edges, and if those guys are on the field, I feel like that you need to gas them, right? Because I don't see Desmond Watson lasting 4 quarters if you're running them sideline to sideline. I just don't.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah,
I agree. I think you got to make that guy run sideline to sideline. I think you definitely don't want to run into a wall. That would never make any kind of sense. But, I know, if we see it, they see it, so I'm pretty sure they'll probably scheme that pretty well, You
would think.
But
you would think.
You would think, you know what I mean? But he is a big guy. But, kind of like I didn't get to watch the whole Kentucky game. But I know they had I think it was 2 picks, right? And one of them they ran back, right?
I think it was it may have been a pick 6. I saw Brock. Brock was struck. One of the things that I think is what's going to separate this is Florida capitalized on this. So I have to give them credit here, right? They capitalized on the turnovers, creating the turnovers. What I saw was Brock just throwing it extremely hard. Like on a short crossing route, he just booked it in there. And it's like, buddy, you're not on my team anymore. But at the same time, I want you to understand, sometimes you can take it. You have to take some off right? Because he hit his hands. It was just like a piss missile, basically, just going through. You know what I mean? And ultimately caused the turnover. It tipped off of 2 Kentucky receivers' hands. So it's like, you know, and Carson, I think Carson will be able to, you know, to do the right thing. So I think if you play zone against him, I think he'll be able to pinpoint the winners. Yeah. But if you try to play man, I think with Jason Marshall with Marshall for them being out, that's one of their better DBs.
Right.
I think you have to attack. I would assume it's Cormani. If not, we'll see. But you have to attack their corners and force them to be physical.
Yeah.
I think you have to do that. What would you, if you know, using your football mind, how would you attack this game?
You know, I mean, you know, you mentioned Carson, to be honest. I think, you know, I think he's had those moments where he's had a few plays he wish he can get them back, you know. And I think Carson is I agree with everything Kirby has stood on with him when he says he's a really good quarterback. You know, he just he hasn't played perfect, you know, and he goes, who has, you know, and I think him standing by that guy is really good for his confidence, for one. But I think for two, you know, I know my son's in the room with him, and there's been some few times where he spoke on, you know, the football IQ that Carson has, you know, obviously being a guy that's been in the system and, you know, being a smart guy. He's got some physical tools as well. But I like to think that you're kind of at that point, you know, when you get kind of like past midway, guys start getting into playing their best football, you know, and the guys that are smart, you know, are able to look at that film and go, okay, well, I did this or I did that. And a smart player is going to have a lot of correction points at this point in the season. So that's really encouraging when I really look at that. I think for Carson in particular, I think he's a smart guy, you know, so I think, you know, we get, you know, much cleaner play. And I think that, you know, I think that we do a good job of running the ball against these guys and passing. And I personally think we dominate this ball game. You know, I don't think it's a sketchy game by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, I know how it gets when you get rivalry games where guys are fired up for the first 2 quarters and playing with their hair on fire. You have to play 4 quarters against us, you know. So I'm curious to see what the first quarter looks like, how we come out, how they come out, when the emotion kind of dies down and we really settle into the game. You know, I think that, you know, we've been pretty battle tested right now. And I think that shows up in this game, you know?
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think once the scripted plays go out the door, you'll really find out. One of the things about these games, I don't know how much you've kept up with these games over the past. One of the big things with these games seem to be huge momentum shifts in a very short time. So, for instance, 2021, right, Georgia, in a matter of, I want to say like 3 minutes, it scored 21 points going into the half. Right? It seems like this game has kind of relied upon those momentum shifts, and it's just huge swings in momentum, and it's just extremely fast. You know, I think this year I want to see it this way. I just want to see us play a complete game, right? Take the defense, right? Like I said, they're getting healthy. Guys are getting healthy. I think you might see Jordan Hall on a snap count, and I think that's a good addition to the D-line. And then, like I said, obviously Tate's probably going to play, I would assume, at this point, which helps the offensive line. I think they still need to kind of tighten up that rotation a little bit, get the best out of it, but nitpicking, if that makes sense. I think this is a ETN legacy game just to be petty as hell. Just be petty. Just to be petty. Like,
I'd love to see that guy go rush for 200 yards tomorrow, man. I'd love to see it.
I mean, there's so many kids from Florida on this team that, like, I just want to see all of them ball out against that team. I mean, it's Florida. Like, you just have to, right? You just have to.
There's so many storylines, right? Like even Carson is from Jacksonville, and
from Duval.
You got ETN over here who transferred, and you know, I mean, the whole rivalry thing. It's gonna be we've got our own story within that whole thing. So it's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be a good game. But I'm hoping for a lopsided ball game tomorrow. You know what I mean? I want to eat my nachos and
dominate.
Yeah, I want to dominate, man. I want to dominate this game. I want to beat the brakes off these guys.
I think we can all three concur on that one.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Part of me wants to hear Kirby's pregame on this one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Kirby hates this team.
Mhm.
Absolutely hates them. Like I think he hates them more than he loves his family.
Yes.
It's bad. It's bad.
He does.
Yeah, no, I think that stems back. I want to ask you this now that you're here, the news. So kind of bring the news to the show. The 2026-2027 games are going to Atlanta and Tampa, I believe it is. There's a lot of fans that wanted these games home and home, but kind of in today's world, right? The money factor seems to be too much to pass up.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the neutral sites compared to possibly playing them, in Athens and then at the Swamp? How do you see it? I mean, I don't think there's a right or wrong. I mean, obviously it's what's done is done, but what are your thoughts on the whole neutral site confirmation over the home and home?
Well, I thought, to be honest, the neutral site situation, just with the history of everything and the whole Jacksonville, you see how they split the stadium, and it's kind of like even, so the game just comes down to who's going to win. You kind of take the home field advantage out of it.
Right.
And I think there's a degree of that kind of makes it a little more tantalizing, is that you get even kill on both sides. You get a stadium split in two. Nobody's really got an advantage. It just comes down to who wants the game more. Because, if either way, I get it. They got to make the move. But, home field advantage is home field advantage, and I mean, heck, when you beat the brakes off of somebody in a neutral field, there's nothing you can really talk about. That's the way I see it. If any game you beat somebody on a neutral field, you got beat. You had no advantage, and we just are a better football team than you. So I think you lose a little bit of that. But I get the money implications and all the things surrounding it. And, what I've heard was renovations and things like that. So
yeah, they're doing the renovations at Jacksonville Stadium or whatever. Yeah.
So I get all of that. But part of me kind of likes the idea of having a neutral setting in that. I thought it was pretty neat. I don't think that's too common in college football rivalries. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you have the Red River, you have our game, and then you have Army Navy. I think it is.
Yeah.
I think those are the only three.
Yeah.
Well, you've had one also. Like, I mean, I'm not doing it. Georgia Tech started something with the Benz. Then you've got Jerry World for what is it? Is it A&M Arkansas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Been doing that but it's not like a consistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hasn't been going on as long as the cocktail party. By no stretch.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's definitely not a permanent fixture regarding that.
I attended my first one in '68.
What was that?
I attended the first cocktail party in my life in '68.
Hell yeah!
Wow.
Make Gator hating for a minute.
He's a veteran. We got a veteran here.
Oh, we got the OG triple OG right there.
I love it, man.
I want to ask you this. Since it's a Gator hater, we haven't really done a lot of Gator hating. I got to ask you an over-under here. Mr. Hightoff would love this. Over-under midway through the third quarter. Are the Florida fans exiting the stands by the midway through third, or are they before or after midway through the third?
I think it's over at halftime. I think it's over at halftime.
Talking my language now.
I think it's over to halftime this year with what we've been through as a team.
Yeah,
I think it's over at halftime.
So that sounds like an under. Mr. Hightoff, write that down, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. And noting that Kobe, former Georgia player, Can we be the reason Captain Sunbelt is an analyst somewhere next year? I like the spirit.
You know, I was going to tell you something. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I think, I had a son, my second oldest son had transferred from Ole Miss to Arizona State. He played that last year with Jaden last year. And, I think, so we come from California. There was a school down there called De La Salle. There's some really good programs, right? That have won a lot.
I've heard of De La Salle.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No.
They had a national winning streak and all that kind of stuff, right? So my point is, my son was at Ole Miss, and he told me, he said, no, Dad, you don't understand. Like, they call it like Georgia week. Like, when we got Georgia, like, there's a respect kind of floating in the air. And this was a long time ago. This was before here. He's like, there's a respect in the air for the program. So I think, the body of work we've done here over the last, few years or whatever it is, 3-4 years, he's winning national championships, 40-2. I want to say, only losing to Bama, that whole storyline. I think there's a part of this where you expect these guys to come out and do what they're going to do, and as long as we don't let them down and we show up and do what they expect us to do, right? That's Georgia football. As long as we keep the standard, I think we can control the game physically and mentally.
There you go.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Mr. High Top here asked, will you be taking part in our over-unders for the game? Would you like to do that? We have 5 over-unders. If you'd like to, let me know. If not, we'll make them wait.
No, I won't do it.
There you go. The answer has been given. I had to throw the curveball for that one over under. It's Gator hating, guys. Like, let's be honest. It's just being serious though. No, I think what Georgia needs to do, right? Just go out and play your brand of football. Just execute, because looking ahead, I'm going to do it because it's Florida and Florida's dog shit. You got Ole Miss on the road. You've got Tennessee at home, right? Way more important.
Yeah,
I would say way more important games. I mean, let's be serious.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And I think getting the offense right is going to help out a lot. Yeah. I think you need to do that, right? Especially looking at Tennessee. Mm-hmm. You want to be efficient on offense. I don't know if you go out there and do. I don't know if you go out there and do the Texas performance on offense and get away with it again.
Right.
No.
Right.
Tennessee has got a good defense.
Yeah, they got a good defense. I still think. I mean, we'll save that for the Tennessee preview.
Yeah,
leave that there. This is not ball. This is not ball time. This is Gator Hater,
a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
We need the momentum. We need the momentum right now.
I think if you get Carson in a rhythm, that's going to be the key. That's going to be the key. He is very much a rhythm quarterback, and if you get him in rhythm early, I genuinely think you see the utmost of ass whippings in Jacksonville this year.
I'd love it. Damn right.
Also think that they don't need to sod the field 2 days before the damn game. Is that what they did? Absolutely. You didn't see the field last year?
No.
I highly suggest you go back and watch if you can find it. The field, or the city, I guess the city of Jacksonville takes care of the field, or so. I don't know what exactly happened. They resodded the field going into the week, so the field you could literally see the lines.
Wow.
Yeah, so much so that a Florida kid actually hurt his knee and had to come out in a brace during the game. Wow. He got hurt in pregame warmups, came out and played in a knee brace.
Wow.
The field was that bad. So definitely going to need the city or the grounds crew for that field not to do the same dumb shit that they did this past year.
Absolutely.
I ain't trying to tear a knee up.
Well, do we know what they did this year? Did they do anything different? We don't know.
I hope not. I don't know. Yeah. We'll find out 30:30 tomorrow, sir.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's hope they don't do something like that again. That was stupid.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
That's something I didn't like to see. Obviously, injuries, right? It was just crazy because it was actually the important player for Florida too that got the knee hurt. So it's kind of one of those things where it's annoying.
Yeah, no doubt.
We've got. Hold on. Wait a minute. Is this who I think it is? We got Keon. Keon live in Jacksonville right now. Keon, how is it
All
going?
right.
Keon's in the trenches.
There he is.
There he is.
Live
What's
from
up, Keon?
Jacksonville.
What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing?
Hanging,
Wow.
man.
I'm doing. We Gator hating tonight, sir.
Damn
Oh.
right.
I had to show up for the Gator Hater ball. In between the one of many cocktails, yet again, people drink responsibly.
There you go.
Whoo! All right. Man,
All right,
I'm
we're going.
I'm so
So
happy I
Keon
made
is
it
Silky
here.
Johnson tonight, sir. By the way, he is Silky Johnson.
All right. Look. So here's the thing: the road trip from Dallas to Jacksonville has been a challenge, right? We had to wake up from 3 just to get here at I believe 9. It was a 5 a.m. flight, 5:45, and they
The early
moved
bird
the gate
special.
in the midst of it. It was hectic. Nevertheless, we made it here. Got tickets to the game. Gonna be there. I was blessed enough to be here at the DoubleTree with my father. Shout out to my dad. So
Great.
you know, little does he know this is our early birthday present. Okay, all right. But no, it's about to be a great one, man. I'm so excited. Harlan, how you doing, my guy? How you
I'm
doing?
good, man. I'm good. Good to finally catch up with you. You know, we stay communicating.
Absolutely. Jaden Rashada QB1 for next year? Question mark. I can't wait.
Yeah, Keon's definitely been voicing that opinion for sure.
Man, I have been leading the charge for Jaden Rashada to be our QB1 next year. I've been leading the charge on the front lines, man. You just don't know.
Man,
I
appreciate the love.
As soon as he took the visit, I was like, oh yeah, let it happen.
No, I appreciate the love, man. I definitely appreciate the love. You know, you got to go work, man, and just keep getting better, and all that stuff's going to sort itself out, you know. But like I told him earlier, you know, I mean, every kid in there wants that job. You know what I mean? They're all going to grind and get better. I think iron sharpens iron, and whatever comes through the smoke is going to be the best thing for the team.
I'm going to tell you, it's been one of those ones like where I'm watching the game, and there'll be points and times where you'll see Kirby start talking to Carson, and then Carson will just grab Rashada and bring him in, or Rashada will just lean in and be like, "Wait, what's going on?" So it's those little things that make me believe it's like, okay, man, you got to get yourself prepped because you're gonna be. This might happen to you. What he's screaming at me for right now could be you. So, so it's just one of those things. But man, I'm really excited.
What's the vibe? What's the vibe like? What's the vibe like on a Friday night?
I've been hearing nothing but barking since I got here. Like, from the jump. Like,
go Dawgs,
man, go Dawgs. I've been hearing the concierge talking about Dawgs by 50. Like, it's bad. Valet up here saying what is the time count? What quarter do you think that the Florida fans are just going to end up getting up and leaving?
Oh, it's funny you say that, Keon. We did an over-under.
Book on that.
Mr. Rashada thinks it's over by half. They're leaving the stands by half.
Yeah.
We got to play 4 quarters. We got to play 4 quarters.
Yeah,
but I like to see us have it in a chokehold at halftime.
Yeah.
Keon, whatever you do, make sure you take a extra belt, and you throw it onto the sideline. So that maybe ETN, we'll give it to ETN. Let ETN just put belt to ass in the handshakes after the game.
Man, it's about to get crazy. It's about to
most diabolical hater this side of the Mississippi.
You don't mean the championship belt. You mean like a real belt, like a leather belt.
I'm talking like discipline your kid belt. Yeah.
Damn right.
This granddaddy good belt. This is church.
See the championship belt is when you just want to get in their face like the champ is here, right? But we can't do that. So you take the real time belt. It's the business belt.
Yeah, this is Grandpa's Sunday service belt.
Sunday best, huh?
Yeah, but there's Florida. Let me tell you this. So there's Florida fans here. Don't get me wrong, there is, but there's so many Georgia fans here, bro. Like it's crazy. Like you, like you would almost think this is like a home game, bro. Like they are here, like everywhere.
Something, Keon, I just came to my mind. I'm feeling a little Jack Jenkins tonight, and just want to tell the Gator fans that don't take this ass whipping personally. But I know I'm lying at that point. I'm lying at that point.
No, it's about to get crazy, dude. It's really about to get crazy. I'm really excited. I think you're gonna see a lot of Trevor Etienne.
Yeah.
Really, all of the Florida boys are about to go crazy. So I got Trevor Etienne. I got
Keon.
Smith,
Keon, I need to make sure that Keon, go on Facebook tomorrow about 3:30, and make sure that you post your status as marked safe from the denim factory. Okay.
No,
there's so many jorts and pit vipers gonna be there.
No, seriously, it's.
But he might turn into Denim Dan if you're not careful.
Fam, so look, I landed here. I got here probably about 10:30. It was like 90 degrees, right? I'm from Texas, so 90 degrees. I know what that feels like in a humid state. I've been seeing people walk around this shit with jorts, and then a jean jacket on top of it with a little Florida.
Did they have the Air Monarchs or no?
Fam,
Grillmaster
5000.
Florida fan.
What's the capacity there in the stadium? Because we're half of it, right?
Probably. I think we'll have like a 60-40 split, honestly.
60-40?
No, I mean, typically, let's just say this. If both teams, like in the past, right, if both teams are legit, you're looking at basically 50-50.
Yeah.
But if Georgia is where we are now, I think you might see 60-40, maybe even 70-30. I think my thing is maybe early in the year, right, when they were really bad, they probably sold them tickets because they just kind of saw it coming.
Yeah.
We'll see. Keon will probably be reporting live on that. But yeah, I think it's going to get nasty.
So I'm gonna tell y'all this, man. So I just left from downtown to get back here to where I'm at. There is a lot of drunk, obnoxious Georgia fans. Like we were just barking at people in the street, and I had to join in because I'm right here with it. So it's like,
so I obliged.
Yeah,
I ride the wave.
I had to. But man, look, Georgia fans, they about to show out. This cocktail party finna go crazy.
Yeah.
My game plan is to, like, bro, when I tell you I got here, I took my final drink before I clicked on. I am not drinking alcohol until tomorrow morning. Right? See?
You gotta keep something in the tank for the game, right?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
At brunch.
Man.
I will say this, Keon, we need answers on when you start partaking in potent potables. Okay.
Yeah.
Also, Harlan, get ready for this. Keon, tonight is the night where you talk about your infatuation with ETN, Gator chomping a red and black. We've talked about this.
That's the whole reason why I bought my ticket. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna miss this for the world. I'm not missing that shit for the world. And if I know what I think Kirby will probably end up doing is he probably end up telling ETN every time you score, get in that end zone and Gator chomp let them know what time it is. Okay. And that was my thought process when we released the schedule, and we had Trevor Etienne on the team. I was like, oh, that game against Florida, I gotta go. I can't miss it. I can't miss it for the world.
Yeah, that's a big one for him, man.
I mean, coming off the bye week, right? The 3 touchdown performance. I know Tate's going to be that situation where he's going to play. He's telling people he's going to play. I would assume. I've talked to Tate personally, know how it goes.
Is he limited? Is he limited at all? Because I know he's just coming back. Because I know they said they limited his reps in practice.
Well, into the Texas game, he warmed up and got held out for emergency just in case. Which typically, no one just enough insight here tells me that if we had a game that next week, he would probably be playing. Again, my thing is I genuinely think he's going to play tomorrow. Yeah, I think a lot of it was just seeing on the bye week, but it sounds like things are a go.
Yeah.
And again, and Keon, if I can't see Keon, but I'm sure Keon's there.
I am here.
We joke about this, but you need a little bit of racism on that offensive line. Just show a little bit of toughness.
You got to. Gotta have a guard. You know what I'm saying? It's just he woke up saying MAGA 5 times before he said God bless you and brushed his teeth. Like he gotta be in the mode, okay? We need him to have a horseshoe of Copenhagen in the bottom lip, ready to go. like if
And for the record, we are not
His
calling
favorite color
anyone
has to be
racist. Okay, just gotta
It has
clear that up. We're not calling anyone that. I promise. We're just joking about this.
Keon said he wants to see him dialed in, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sure everybody's gonna be dialed in tomorrow.
I need this entire offensive line to be like some over aggressive bouncers, just moving people for no reason. Just
I want to see Jared. I want to see Jared.
Get him out the way.
We talked about it earlier, Harlan. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but I'm curious to see how our offensive line moves guys like Desmond Watson and Micah Boro, because those guys are big. Obviously, Desmond's 470 and Micah is like 360, 370. Those are huge human beings. So it's going to be interesting to see how we scheme up against that, and if they're trying to run them sideline to sideline or try to catch them off guard and miss whatever. I'm curious to see how we attack that size, because they do have some size there.
Well, you got to wear big guys down like that. You got to get them moving. Lateral. You have to. If you wear them down and keep them guessing, and it's easy to run around them and things like that. So that has to happen. I mean, 470 is crazy. Too. That's a big dude.
I need to ask Sunbelt Billy why no changes in the weight.
Well, there is.
Why are we trying to keep him at 470?
That's crazy.
There is changes.
Nobody's.
I think he's gotten bigger. I think he got bigger every year.
So what you're telling me, he's a Bojangles biscuit away from starting on 600-pound life? Come on now. It's crazy work. That's crazy.
He get him one of them California street tacos. He might be on that 600-pound life.
I can't with y'all, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Keon from Dallas, he knows all about that. Get him one brisket sandwich away.
Bro, I know a pantry hate to see him coming.
Who doesn't like brisket?
Oh, man.
Man, I'm telling you right now.
Oh,
no.
Can't be mad. Even string beans love. Even string beans love that.
Ooh, hey, man, Arlen, I had the best brisket sandwich while watching us beat the shit out of Texas. That was a top tier sandwich.
Oh, he was. By the way, he went to DKR.
Yeah, I was sitting. So I don't know where you were sitting, Arlen, but I was right behind the Texas band.
Okay.
Like, literally the section right above it. But
I was kind of like in the player section, will call section, which was kind of like right underneath the jumbotron,
Oh, okay, yeah.
On
I know
on
exactly
our side.
where you was at.
Yeah,
man.
It was wild over there, man. It was wild. We were jamming the whole time. Everybody was celebrating. There was never a dull moment that day. We were rocking, man. And it was just amazing to see how quiet. It felt so good to just see how quiet everybody else was. Texas side. I mean, there was.
By the way, folks, I gotta bring this up. I saw some of the most diabolical things just a little bit ago. I want you to picture Emmitt Smith in a Georgia shirt.
Whoa!
Now, to be fair, his daughter is at Georgia, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow!
But I want you to picture Emmitt Smith in Georgia gear. I think he knows what's up.
Oh, he knows what's coming. Everybody knows what's coming.
Did you really see that? Or are you seeing a picture?
No, it's a picture of him with his daughter and I guess wife.
Wow. He had a son that was playing running back somewhere, wasn't he?
He's at A&M. He was at Stanford, moved to A&M.
Oh, he's at A&M now?
I think it's A&M.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is A&M.
But he was at Stanford. He was at Stanford with Ash. Keon, he was at Stanford with Ash, and then transferred out.
Well, that had to be an interesting day when his daughter said, "I'm going to Georgia," right?
She knows what's up.
Had to.
She knows what's up. Good call. Good for her.
Quiet at the dinner table.
For sure.
Listen. I'm telling you right now.
Like, are you sure you got to go to that school? You sure Florida don't offer it?
I wouldn't go to that school. Shit.
No, but seriously though, you got to think about that. It's like I'm an all-time legend. I'm damn near a god at this campus, and you telling me you want to go to the University of Georgia?
Yeah.
I'd start crying. Be like, where did I go wrong? Where did
Smart
I turn
girl.
left?
You went to Florida. That's your fault, not your daughter's fault.
No, for real.
Smart girl.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Let's do this. Let's ask some impact players here. Who do you think will be the impact player for tomorrow?
You want my opinion?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the obvious in ETN. I think he's going to be revved up and have a great game. I think, I think Carson's going to have a great game. But I think the player who, I've kind of been, who I think really could be very impactful in this game, and I think he's really dynamic, is Love It.
Oh man. Yeah.
I think he could have a huge game.
Harry, who are you choosing for your impact player?
I hope Humphreys. He's got the size that we need.
You talking about Julian Humphrey?
Wide receiver.
Oh, London Humphreys. Okay.
London Humphreys.
I like him a lot.
If he can, he's been struggling with his game. He's been struggling with the blocking. But I think that if he can, and based on what has been shared, he's had a good week. Perhaps he could be a difference maker at his size.
Yeah.
By the
let
way,
me ask you, what are they doing with Evans being down? What's the plan with that? Who's going to?
I think you might see Malachi. I honestly think you might see Malachi Starks. No,
Jacoby.
I think you see Malachi Starks. Malachi did it at Jefferson when he was in high school. He did it.
But I'm gonna tell you this: if Malachi Starks is returning punts,
yeah,
he's house calling one of them shits.
That's what I'm thinking. What about kick return? Do we see Frazier?
I don't know if you put Frazier out there.
Yeah,
maybe. I mean, I'd like to see Jacoby there. Gets him some run there. I think that's another one that you could do. I don't know if you put Arian out there on that.
No,
I don't think that. I mean, I don't know. I'd assume maybe Sokovy or Malachi. But
I'm gonna tell you this: you give Arian one
I thought
open.
Evans has been real sure-handed on the return game, though.
He definitely has.
Yeah, he has.
For me, my impact guys, I would say would be Trevor Etienne, Carson Beck, our defensive line, all of them. I mean, because I think there's going to be a couple of guys that make their name known. And honestly, Arian Smith.
Hey, you know what, guys? I got a question. What do we lost? Was it Aguero and Jackson?
Dan
right?
Jackson. Yeah.
So who fills in there? Like, how do we look in the first half defensively? Those are two big positions.
I think.
Right?
So with that being said, for the first half, you'll probably be looking at KJ and Malachi at safety, with Ja'Cory Thomas at star. I would assume that's how you rotate that out to start. I'm curious to see if you see a guy like DeMello come out. You've got Kyron Jones, like you've got different guys there. You might honestly, because you're set at safety, you may even see Malachi move to the star and put someone else back. I don't know if you see a guy like Jake Pope. I think he could play if you need him to. But I definitely think you might. I think you'll see Ja'Cory and KJ for at least start. But you'll see them play a lot. At least that's what I'm thinking.
I think Malachi has a two-pick game tomorrow.
You know what? I just want to see him play consistent, and I would love it. I guess it's time for my impact player. My impact player is not even going to be on Georgia's team. It is going to be the catering department for tomorrow's breakfast for Florida. They've got their work cut out for them.
Yeah.
And also, I think that's the only thing that's going to come out having any impact at all tomorrow.
They got their work cut out. They got their work cut out for them feeding one Florida player.
2.
Well, hell, he about the size of 3.
I mean, make Big X the plug look small.
Oh, man.
No doubt, man. I can't stay on too much longer, man.
Well, we appreciate you, Harlan, for coming on and Gator hating with us.
No doubt.
Before you leave, first things first, got to ask you, what's your score prediction?
I'm gonna go. Let's say 42, and I give him 17.
42-17. Keon, I think that's
respectful. I think the 17 is later than earlier.
Garbage time, right?
Yeah, semi.
I can see it. I think they score early. They don't have Eugene Wilson, but they've got Badger and they've got Baugh. They've got the running back. I think Montrell's back, probably, maybe. So I'm curious to see how we handle the run game. But yeah, I think that's respectable, I suppose. I mean, I'd want to see Georgia just keep piling it on.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Harlan, where can people find you? I know you're on Twitter and everything like that, but if people want to go follow you, where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter. Harlan Rashada on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at rashada.sports. Been kind of feeding that page since, it's like a sports page. Been feeding that since the kids were younger, kind of following our storyline with sports. But yeah, that's it. I'm on Facebook, all that good stuff,
If you're listening and you're watching, do us a favor. If you're on X right now, go give them a follow. Let them know Dog Nation is behind them. Let them know DGD Podcast sent you too. We appreciate you taking the time to come out and hop on the show. And like I said, get in part of this Gator hating season.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you guys having me, man. I'm a fan of what you guys are doing. Keep doing it, man.
Well,
Dawgs.
I mean, you heard that from the 2024 Gator Hater of the Year.
I'll take it.
Oh, hate.
No doubt.
Best believe the next motherfucker say something, gonna get shot.
Yeah.
You guys be good, man.
All right, you too.
You too.
You.
No doubt.
Enjoyed it.
Oh man, boys, what a good conversation that was.
That was great.
Keon, you're live in Jacksonville. Let's do this.
Right
Let's do
here.
this.
Don't know if you can see it. Hold on. Just so y'all can see a little bit of what we got here. Overlooking everything.
Is that the stadium?
It honestly might be. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure. But hey, we're here. We are.
Yeah, baby, we live. Ooh, that's
we
cool.
are live, baby. Yeah.
Here we go. Reynaldo says he's in Jacksonville, lived here since '97. Love this robbery. Reynaldo, do us a favor. See, Keon's gonna be like, "Where's Waldo?" See if you can find Keon. See if they can make it happen. I mean, Keon, I'm not necessarily saying to dox your location right now, but I'm curious if Reynaldo can do it. If he can find you. Could Reynaldo find you?
100%. I mean, I've already said it. I'm here at the DoubleTree, Hilton, right across the bridge. So
let's see or it might be. It depends on how Reynaldo. It might be too late. It looks like he might have a kid, so it might be too late. But if Reynaldo, he says you're downtown, I guess that means yes.
I'm not 100% sure, to be all the way honest. I'm right by the bridge, so
you close to the stadium for sure.
No, bro. the stadium's like right over there.
Keon,
That way.
I have to ask you a question. Oh, okay. There's 7 bridges in Jacksonville. So.
Oh, okay. I'm probably about 3.
He said you are in downtown.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I'm looking at the Hyatt right now.
So you're looking at the Hyatt. Okay. So Ronaldo, there's your answer, sir.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Hyatt right now. I don't know what that building is.
He's close.
Here, Harry, I got a question for you since you're on. So like I said, we are doing a call-in show as well. So Harry,
Yeah.
I want to ask what are your thoughts for tomorrow? What do you want to see tomorrow from Georgia, whether it be offense, defense, whatever? What do you want to see?
I want to see a clean game. I want to see death march. That's what I want to see.
You want to see a death march? Now, my question is, Keon, Harry, do we want to see Georgia rush the field and dance on them? Probably not going to get that. I'm just curious.
No, not in this rivalry. Really, any of our rivalries, to be fair. But I really can't even remember the last time Georgia had rushed the field, to be all the way honest.
No.
08.
I'm not advocating for that.
Keon, he says you're near the Ruth Chris downtown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I guarantee right now I could find you.
good steaks. Anyway,
But Keon, you had a good steak 2 weeks ago when they beat the fuck out of Bevo.
Oh, man, that shit was beautiful. That was beautiful. But hey,
Buddy,
fellas,
Texas fans watching the show might be like, what the fuck you say fuck me for?
this has been the start of a wonderful weekend. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. I'm about half past drunk and I like it. Okay. With that said, okay, I'm probably about to hop off here myself because the Gator hate just doesn't start tonight. It has to continue on into tomorrow, right?
Keon,
the hate cup runneth over.
Keon, I need to ask Judge Keon something.
Oh, it's Saturday. Office hours is closed. You got to get up.
Sir,
yeah. Anybody that's in holding, you ain't gonna make it home for Sunday night football, buddy. Okay, you might make it home for Monday night. I don't know. The way how this weekend going, we ain't done drinking. I'm probably gonna drink some more. I ain't even gonna lie to you. But the most important thing is I'm safe. I'm in a safe location, and I can walk. See, because all I gotta do is walk to the elevator, hit the button, go up to my floor, take a couple of steps, key card, bam, close door, and fall asleep. I can fall asleep right there, honestly. So
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah,
so
man.
Got a plan.
You got a plan? Man with the plan, Stan. Okay. For Billy. What's your name again?
Okay. Gators are trash, okay?
Drugs are bad, okay? Drugs are bad.
Bojangles biscuits, they're delicious, okay?
No, they're good always, okay?
Gators eat boogers.
Gators eat gators. That's a whole other thing. I'm not trying to go into
They do. Yeah, that's kind of disgusting.
Cannibals.
Keon, you said you're about to get off here and partake in the Jacksonville nightlife.
No, I'm going to sleep. I'm not even.
Oh, you're going to sleep because you're old like that.
No, see, here's the thing. Right? Here's the thing, right? I have been going all day, literally from 3:45 in the morning to now, right? I'm tired. Okay, I just ate my first meal of the day.
Wow.
2 hours
Yeah,
ago.
you're gonna crash.
Keon, there's an
You're
old
gonna
cliche
crash.
statement that I want to have to let people know. And this applies to you in your case, but Florida fans in general. Excuses are the nails that build a house of failure.
I made
Like
it
a
to my
broken.
hotel with my wallet, my keys, my cell phone, and my cash. Mission is accomplished. Okay, and I'm drunk. So
Hey, the game ain't been played yet, so the game mission ain't over, sir.
yeah.
Keon, before you get off,
Oh shit, the table is not stable.
what?
I got my phone propped up on a water bottle, and the table is not stable. Look at this. Oh my. Oh Jesus.
Keon, you're drunk. Go home.
No, I'm here. But I will talk to you guys later. I appreciate it.
Hold on, Keon. Before you go, I must ask: what are your final words? What are your final words for Gator fans?
Fuck them bitches. Dogs by 90. Go Dogs. Dogs on top.
You heard it. You heard it here first. Oh boy, Harry, let's do this. It's time for the DGD, or actually over-unders. We'll do over-unders real fast. Bear with us. If you're in the chat, this is where you get to help us out. You just tell us over or under. All right, on this, Mr. Hightoff has provided us with some good over-unders here. Let me see what we got here. All right, here we go. UGA offense, 5.5 total touchdowns. First things first, over or under UGA offense scoring 5.5 touchdowns?
Under.
Go under. So yeah, scoring 6 touchdowns off, you'd have to score 6 touchdowns. That's 40. That's technically 42 points.
Exactly.
By default. It's a lot of points. It's a lot of points. I'm gonna go. You know what? I want to be wrong. I'm going over because it's fuck Florida. It is. I'm going over. I want to see us hit offensive deep shots. I want to see us just execute offense and be solid on defense. Make them wish they never even made the bus ride up. Just make their life a living hell. No, that's what I want. I don't care if you call it what you want.
Yeah.
It's fuck Florida. It's Gator hate time, guys. Like you thought I came in.
I mean,
listen, you thought I came in here
80 or nothing. I'd be happy.
Ain't no caution right now. No, hell no. This is Gator Hater's ball.
Listen.
So I got over. High tough. You know the drill. Next one, Trevor Etienne, 89.5 rushing yards.
Over.
I think this is the game we've been waiting for where Etienne hits a home run shot.
Yep.
So hit me on the over on that. I think this is the game where you catch him on a counter in space and he takes it home and Keon gets his wish, the Gator chomp. I just need to see that. I need to see it. So I've got over.
Amen.
Harry, I'm assuming you have the over on that as well?
Absolutely.
Let's see. Arian Smith, half a receiving touchdown. I'm going over. I think he gets a touchdown.
I think he gets one.
So both over as well. So all three are over so far. Interesting stuff. Next one, Damon Wilson, half a sack.
Under.
So do you think he does not register a sack? I'm going over. I think you need to rattle him, and I think you might catch them with Damon. Damon speed rushing. I think you have some candidates like Michael or Jalen Walker for sure. I'm here to tell you, It's
I'm just thinking that it's possible that once we gain control of the game, that it won't be so much of a problem.
yeah, no, I mean we'll see. I mean if we stop their run game, I want you to understand it's about to be hunting season for real. Speaking of UGA defense, 1.5 interceptions.
Over.
I'm gonna go under on this one. I think we create havoc, but I think it's turned like fumbles.
Oh, you could be right on that.
I think we get a pick. I just think we get a mix of a pick and like maybe a turnover on the ground, a fumble. So I think I'm gonna go under on that one. But if we get 2 picks, there ain't no reason to say that we didn't win by 3 scores.
Right.
So there are your over unders for the week, Mr. Hightower. Let's do this. We are going to do our DGD picks of the week. Now, these were pre-made here. And Harry, since it's the call-in show, we're doing this very spontaneous for you, sir. And if you want to partake, you feel free. But we have 10 games, as you know, for those that are curious. 10 games, one being Jaden, my son, his game of the week. And for that, he picks on behalf of the Brigade. So Brigade does not get to choose the winner of his game of the week. He does that for you. If you're not familiar, he has been very well at this. He's very good at this. We shall start in the SEC. Ole Miss taking on Arkansas. Harry, I'm going to let you start. How do you feel this game goes out? Who do you got winning that game?
I actually like Arkansas at home.
Ooh, Arkansas at home.
Yeah, cover spread. I don't know
What
about
do
win.
you see in it that makes you think that?
I think the offense is going to roll.
Okay. I don't think Lane Kiffin.
Based on what I've learned, I think that the quarterback is not quite as hurt as he seemed to be.
And keep in mind, Lane Kiffin might get suspended for trying to fake injuries and have kids falling down on purpose. So it sounds like Greg Sankey is laying down the gauntlet on that. Not mad at that. As for the panel here, it's unanimous. Everyone thinks Ole Miss will take out Arkansas this week. Moving on to the next, where we're going to stay in the SEC. Vanderbilt going to Jordan-Hare Stadium and taking on the Auburn Tigers. Harry, who do you got? You've got Vanderbilt, you said. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Here we have the panel. I'm lone wolfing it to this week. I think Auburn being at Jordan-Hare, I genuinely think this might be a game. My bold take here. This might be a voodoo game from Jordan-Hare. I think you're going to see some off-the-wall shit and Auburn win on a crazy situation. I don't think it's going to be at the level of the kick six or anything like that. I just think there's some wild shit that goes down this week, and Auburn just somehow pulls out a miracle. I just see it. Just see it. Everyone else, though, does choose Vanderbilt. Honestly, will not be surprised if Vanderbilt wins. I just think that it's time that Jordan-Hare bites someone in the ass.
Well, I mean, the mystique of the venue is real. Lord have mercy, I've seen it. And over the many years. And Auburn is not chopped liver, but there's something about Vandy. There is something about Vandy. I just can't put my finger on it, but they got some moxie about them.
No, Pavia is playing really well. I just think it's about that time that Jordan-Hare gets somebody, right? Jordan-Hare, there's no bias. They get somebody. And I think this might be a week that happens. We'll see. We shall see. Staying in the SEC for the next matchup. Coming off of a huge win at home against LSU, Texas A&M takes on South Carolina at Williams-Brice. I believe this is a night game.
It is.
Harry, who do you got in this one?
I am going to side with the upset.
Ooh.
Even though it's a small spread, I like South Carolina because their defense is vicious and they can absolutely destroy the A&M offense, regardless of which quarterback it is. I think that South Carolina's got a legitimately good national ranked defense, and I think they're gonna put the pressure on them, and I think they might have found them something in the off week. They're by. So
Harry has the Cox pulling off an upset. Let's see what the panel says. Harry, Keon agrees with you that South Carolina pulls this off. Now, my thing is this. I think A&M also has an excellent defense, and the question is, can Lenore Sellers provide the offense that they need? That might be the question and how this game falls, in my opinion.
Rocket Sanders is your key.
Now, fair. I also think it's going to come down to quarterback play. I think quarterback play can make this game, which gives me the slight edge to A&M, even on the road.
Well, I wouldn't disagree with that.
I think it's going to be a good game. And if the upset happens, I've seen people in the media saying that South Carolina can pull it off. So you're not the only one that believes this. This game,
we'll see.
Well, yeah, for sure. Moving on to Kentucky and Tennessee. I have a feeling I know where this is going, but what side are you lying on?
The Vols.
Yeah, I think that this might be a unanimous one, and it is. Kentucky is playing shit football. Just dog shit football right now.
Agree.
Nico has been playing somewhat average. I do think that Kentucky is a team that could give them fits in the secondary, but I just don't know if it's enough. Dylan Sampson Jarquez Hunter went the fuck off. No, that was not Jarquez Hunter. Jarquez went to somebody else. Excuse me. It was Ball from Florida. Just cooked them for 5 touchdowns. Sorry. So I think Dylan Sampson can go for a career day.
Agreed.
So moving on to the ACC in an interesting matchup here. Pitt taking on SMU, arguably for one of the top tier spots in the ACC conference right now. Harry, who do you got in that matchup?
I like Pitt.
You like Pitt. Let's see what the panel here says. Myself, Kobe, and the Brigade are riding with Pitt. Keon, Juan, and Dan are riding with SMU. I think this will be a very interesting matchup, a very good matchup.
Two different philosophies colliding.
Yeah, I think you'll see some interesting stuff coming out of that game, and you'll find out what those teams are made of in the ACC. Because it will have an impact in that top of that conference, by the way. Staying in the conference. Go ahead. Yeah, 100%. Staying in conference in the ACC, Manny Diaz and the Duke Blue Devils coming to take on his old coaching vacancy, right? Manny Diaz, the former head coach of Miami. Now he's at Duke. Could this be a get-back game? Harry, what do you think?
I'm ambivalent on this one, but I'm inclined to take Duke.
You're taking Duke.
And the points.
Oh, and the points. Okay. But you have Miami winning the game outright.
Points are going to be against the points. So.
Okay. So let's do this for the sake of confusion. I don't want to confuse anybody just yet. For these picks, let's just do straight up. So I'm assuming at that point that means you've got Miami.
Now, if it's straight up, I'm gonna take Miami.
You're taking Miami?
Yeah, straight
Okay.
up.
And the panel has it clean sweep. Miami. I think Cam Ward is the X factor in this game.
Oh, absolutely.
Playing Heisman football for real. Playing Heisman football. I know they've struggled and survived a few games. He's still playing some really good football from the quarterback position. That just is what it is. We move to the Big Ten. Oregon traveling to the Big House and taking on the Michigan Wolverines. Keep in mind, Will Johnson, star All-American corner for Michigan, will not be playing tomorrow. So, what say you?
Oregon.
I think
Easy.
it's a clean sweep. Yeah, Oregon, number one team in the country. I think they roll here. I do. I think they roll. I don't know how close that game's going to be, but I think it could get nasty. Moving on, staying in the conference. Ohio State traveling to Penn State here. Drew Aller will be playing. This could be for second place in the Big Ten, arguably. A lot at stake here. Both head coaches, I got to throw this stat out here. Both head coaches are not good in these top 5 matchups, by the way. Not good.
No.
Who gives? Who gives here? What gives? Who do you got winning this game?
Grudgingly and with great personal hurt, I'm going to go with Ohio State.
You are rolling Ohio State. Okay. The
Yeah.
panel has it as myself and Kobe are rocking with the Nittany Lions. Everyone else rocking with the Buckeyes. This could get interesting. I will say this. I think that Penn State has the better defense right now. And that could decide the game. Not saying it will, but it could.
I just can't think that Ohio State's going to squander the $20 million they spent to buy this team.
You never know.
I
But we
gotta
shall
see it.
see
I gotta
tomorrow
see it.
for sure.
I want to see.
We'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow.
And I
With
will
that being
enjoy
said,
watching it.
well, I think a lot of people will. With that being said, it's the cocktail party. Florida Gators versus the Georgia Bulldogs. Harry, we've talked about this. We're going to make this one short and sweet. It's fuck Florida, and by that I mean it's a clean sweep. Georgia beats the fucking brakes off of Florida. Just beats the shit out of them.
We do the
Harlan caught a 42. Harlan caught a 42-17. I'm going 38 to 10.
I think we might win like 38-3.
Ooh, so 38 points. Okay. Not necessarily. I think Georgia can score some points, and I think the defense can play and suffocate that offense. If you do that, It's a long day for Lagway and company. And hopefully ETN does some gator chopping as well. Simple enough. And wrapping up the picks of the week, Jaden's game of the week. Yes, you might be asking why, but this is, again, the mind of a 6-year-old. Tulsa taking on UAB. Now, beforehand, Jaden did choose UAB in this matchup. Harry, who do you got? Do you got Tulsa or do you got UAB?
I'm going to take Tulsa. UAB has been a disappointment. But
I mean, this is fair. This is fair. The panel has it as myself, Keon, rocking with UAB. Listen, I've been burned before. When my son picks a team, I've started to listen to my man. Okay. Myself, I will go with UAB on an upset. We'll see. I'm going to ride with it. And if he's wrong, if we're wrong, we're wrong. But I'm going with my son on this one. Kobe, Juan, and Dan going Tulsa on this one. Now, we have upsets and we have upsets as well. And we'll do this. I'll pull up this right here. So locks of the week. Dan has Texas A&M as his lock. He's got Auburn on upset alert. Keon has Oregon as his lock, and A&M as the upset alert. Kobe's got Army as his lock, Minnesota on upset alert. I've got Navy as the lock, Minnesota on upset alert. Juan forfeits the picks for the week. It's been interesting. Let's do some best bets, folks. If you want to if you're listening to this tonight or early in the morning and you spot this, let's get those last minute bets in and try to get some money. I'm going to pull up a graphic here. We're going to go through each of these. Two picks for Jaden, 6 for the rest. Vanderbilt at plus 7.5, minus 112 odds. Hit that best bet. Georgia with a 14.5 point spread against Florida. Smash that with 110 odds.
I like it.
UNC minus 2.5 over Florida State, minus 110 odds. Take that. Clemson minus 10. They should roll. Minus 110 odds. Miami, Duke. We've got over 54.5 at minus 112 odds. And then in an upset, take the Illinois money line over Minnesota at plus 124. Jaden's best bets. Jaden's got South Carolina in the money line over Texas A&M and Michigan to cover the 14.5 on Oregon. Should have told him that their cornerback is not going to be playing, but we'll see how this fares. Those odds, if you want to take the Michigan at 14.5, minus 112. Those are the best bets for the week. Harry, it's been an excellent show. We've had Mr. Rashada for damn near an hour.
Yeah,
and we've done our picks. We've done over-unders. We did our best bets. Let's send these people. Let's send the chat, the audio listeners. Let's send them off with a bang here. Now, with that being said, before we do, make sure if you're watching this, like, follow, subscribe, share this, get this out. Share this to any Florida fan to piss them off. Share this with any Georgia fan to continue the hate. Okay, just do that. Just follow us on Twitter. Do that right there. Do all the stuff. Like, rate, and review. Right, like, subscribe, rate, and review for listeners. Right, for the podcast listeners. It helps us. It goes a long way, and it's all free. Okay, it's all free. Any final thoughts, Harry, before we wrap this stuff up?
Screw Florida.
Screw Florida and the mule they came in on.
I want the Dogs to destroy them and send them back to the Stone Age. That would please me greatly.
I like where you're going with this.
Drive them before us and see them, crush them and drive them before us, and then hear the lamentations of the women, like Conan says.
I'm gonna give Florida fans some. We need to have a talk. Don't show up tomorrow. Don't show up if you value your sanity. If you value your sanity, don't show up tomorrow because you're going to be wasted. You could probably scalp your tickets and get a little bit extra cash and go back home. It's going to be a bloodbath. It might not show it in the first quarter, but I guarantee you.
It may take a minute.
I'm telling you right now.
Destroy them.
It's going to get nasty. Save yourself the physical pain, the mental torture. Just don't go in there. It's like a haunted house, and you're scared of shit. Don't do it. Just don't go. I'm here to tell you right now. You're going to hate the result. You beat a terrible Kentucky team, and if you want to use a transitive property in the sense that we played them 13-12, good luck. Good luck, because that is the only moral victory that you're going to have tomorrow. You're going to be beat from the time you walk in, the time that your team walks into that stadium. They're already beat. Already beat. Just don't go. Just don't go. You start your slate of 5 games. It's brutal, and it starts with the best team in the country. They might have been number one, but I'm telling you, they're the best team in the country. And what if you had a good Halloween, that's good. But if you're afraid of the boogeyman, that boogeyman is Carson Beck getting right. And I think it happens. I think it comes home, and he hits it huge tomorrow. Dogs are going to absolutely roll early and often. This game will be over by midway through the third. I'm calling a reserve game. You're probably gonna see Gunnar Stockton tomorrow. If that happens, Georgia did their job.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what you have to say if you're a Florida fan. Leave me a comment. You can comment all you want. You're irrelevant to me. I don't care what you have to say. I don't care that your freshman running back had 5 touchdowns. He might get 1 against us, maybe.
They only got copium.
It's about to be belt ass. Been disobedient for far too long. Time to pay up tomorrow. With that being said, I'm Robert. Harry, thanks for coming on, sir. It was good to bring you on and talk.
Thank you very much.
Gator Hater.
A pleasure. And I've enjoyed Mr. Rashada and Robert. You've done a great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Folks, that is the 4th annual Gator Haters Ball. We'll send you home with a good old hate. Bark at anybody you want to tomorrow. Just let that be known. Bark at any Gator fan. They deserve it. They just do. With that being said, have a great rest of your night. Good morning. Whenever you listen. Go Dogs. We'll see y'all next time.